10 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's disease. And about 5 years later, I was living at home with her and hiring some of the first home health aides to help her around the house. She also happened to have this left visual field deficit along with her cognitive impairment. I really struggled to explain in words what a left visual field deficit meant. And that's when I created these goggles. I said, here, just put these on. And her caregivers could immediately understand that they needed to protect this side of her body, and if they were gonna approach my mom, it should be from her right. And that's when I saw that with this one simple tool of visualizing someone else's perspective, I could see care improve for my mom. I wondered, what if we could simulate more than just one visual impairment and actually recreate the perspective of somebody living with Alzheimer's disease?
We designed this piece to be modular, so there are 3 parts, and each part can be watched on its own, all spanning over 10 years of Beatrice's life. It starts off when she's in her mid-60s as a middle school math teacher.
Mrs. Rogers, could you just tell us?
Subsequently, we meet her family, we meet her daughter, we meet her brother, and a couple other family members.
Being able to hold the brain, you have full autonomy to look at the different lobes and structures and how each of these parts are involved together to comprise the different domains in the brain that control your different actions, like talking or paying attention.
The goal is to take the macro human experience and pair that with the organs and the science behind what's actually happening in our bodies.
I think it's important that our CFO, our bookkeepers, our cooks, even people that don't have a lot of interaction, because being in here where a lot of us are officed, you're in these folks' homes. You're going to encounter them. We want to be comfortable and we want to be effective.
One of the behavior changes or learning outcomes that we really want learners to understand is that the challenging communication issues, behaviors, and other things that a person with Alzheimer's may do is not because they won't behave normally, but because they can't behave normally.
We wanted you to be able to speak as Beatriz with other characters in the story. If you can speak with other people, then you're actually there.
Stop asking me, I'm fine.
A crucial part with this voice interaction comes in the middle of the story when Beatriz has a hard time speaking. So what we do is we take the words that you're speaking and mix them up and give you kind of like a jumbled form of what you've just said.
My brain isn't working as fast as it used to. It's like there's something missing.
You're trying to communicate, but what you're saying is not what you mean. It can be incredibly frustrating. But we don't actually know what that's like and what that feels like until we experience it.
We're really excited about the conversations we're going to be able to have with staff after we view collectively the 3 modules.
To be able to see what they go through or to see what they see, it definitely gives you a different perspective on how you would treat them.
If you can understand the science of the brain and the story of the person who has the disease, that together will enable caregivers to be better care providers, better communicators.
There are people who are natural-born caregivers, but that's a minority of the population. Everybody else, especially myself, can use a little bit of guidance on expert training. So this puts us on a new plane. It's exciting.